Understanding narcissism means understanding one of the most striking contradictions in human psychology. Someone who appears supremely confident on the outside while being extraordinarily fragile on the inside. The narcissist walks through life projecting absolute certainty in their superiority, yet this entire performance depends on a constant stream of validation from everyone around them. What makes a narcissist different from someone who simply has high self-esteem or confidence? The distinction runs deeper than most people realize. A narcissist has built their entire identity around an inflated image of themselves that must be protected at all costs. They truly believe they stand apart from ordinary people, more talented, more insightful, more deserving of special treatment. This belief goes far beyond normal self-confidence. Every experience, every interaction, every event gets filtered through one question: what does this say about my specialness? Watch a narcissist navigate their daily life, and you'll notice something exhausting. They constantly scan their environment for proof of their importance. A coworker gets praised during a meeting, and suddenly the narcissist feels personally threatened. Their partner has a success at work, and instead of celebrating, the narcissist feels diminished. Even neutral situations get twisted into statements about them. The weather delays their flight? The universe must be conspiring against someone as important as them. This need for constant reinforcement reveals the unstable foundation beneath all that confidence. The narcissist cannot generate their own sense of worth internally. They extract admiration from others like someone gasping for air. Without this steady supply of validation, their entire sense of self begins to crumble. The missing piece in a narcissist's psychology becomes most obvious when we examine empathy, or rather the lack of it. Empathy requires stepping outside your own perspective and genuinely feeling what someone else experiences. For most people, this happens naturally. Your friend loses their job, and you feel their worry. Your parent falls ill, and you experience their fear. The narcissist struggles profoundly with this basic human capacity. Other people exist in their world primarily as mirrors, as sources of validation, as supporting characters in their personal story. They may show emotion when someone shares difficult news, but look closer at what triggers that emotion. A narcissist might appear upset when their partner loses a parent, not because they grasp the depth of that loss, but because they now face an inconvenient, emotionally demanding situation that pulls focus away from them. People in relationships with narcissists often describe a hollow quality to these interactions. They share something deeply personal, something painful, and within minutes, the narcissist has redirected the conversation back to themselves. Or worse, they've framed the other person's pain through how it affects them. Your cancer diagnosis becomes their burden to bear. Your promotion becomes their moment of feeling overshadowed. Narcissists protect their inflated self-image through a set of psychological defenses that operate automatically and ruthlessly. Everyone uses defenses to some degree. They help us cope with uncomfortable realities. But in narcissism, these defenses become the primary way of navigating the world. Denial works exactly how it sounds. The narcissist simply refuses to acknowledge anything that contradicts their self-image. You present them with clear evidence of a mistake they made, and they'll look you in the eye and insist it never happened. Not because they're deliberately lying in the traditional sense, but because accepting that reality would crack their entire identity. Projection takes their own unacceptable feelings and attributes them to someone else. The narcissist who constantly accuses their faithful partner of cheating, often they're the one being unfaithful or having those impulses. The boss who insists everyone around them is incompetent. They're terrified of their own inadequacy. They cannot tolerate these feelings in themselves, so they see them everywhere else. Devaluation serves to neutralize any threat to their superiority. Someone criticizes them or outperforms them, that person immediately becomes worthless in the narcissist's eyes. They'll pick apart every flaw, real or imagined, until they've convinced themselves that this person's opinion or achievement carries no weight. The speed of this devaluation can be breathtaking. The colleague they praised last week becomes useless and stupid today because they dared to disagree in a meeting. Splitting represents perhaps the most destabilizing defense mechanism in the narcissist's arsenal. This mechanism divides their world into absolutes: all good or all bad, perfect or worthless, ally or enemy. Narcissists cannot handle complexity or ambiguity because nuance threatens their rigid self-concept. People who admire them get placed on pedestals. These individuals become extensions of the narcissist's own specialness. The narcissist treats them well, praises them, associates with them publicly. But this elevated status remains conditional and precarious. The moment that person disappoints them, criticizes them, or demonstrates independence, they plummet from the pedestal into the devalued category. This black and white thinking creates chaos in relationships. You might be the narcissist's soulmate, their perfect match, their only true understanding companion. Then you forget to respond to a text promptly, or you make plans without consulting them first. Suddenly you're selfish, uncaring, and have never really understood them. There's no middle ground, no room for ordinary human imperfection. You're either worshiping them properly, or you're against them. Understanding narcissistic injury explains so much about their bewildering behavior. An injury, in this psychological sense, happens when something punctures that inflated self-image. Someone criticizes them. They get passed over for recognition. Another person receives the attention they believe they deserve. They face evidence of being ordinary or making a mistake. Where most people experience these moments as uncomfortable but manageable, narcissists experience them as catastrophic. Their entire identity cannot accommodate imperfection or ordinariness. When reality intrudes, when something threatens to expose the gap between who they claim to be and who they actually are, their psychological defenses activate with frightening intensity. Narcissistic rage looks nothing like ordinary anger. Normal anger happens in proportion to what triggered it and fades once addressed. Narcissistic rage erupts disproportionately and aims to completely destroy whoever or whatever caused the wound. Someone makes a mild joke at the narcissist's expense during dinner, and they unleash a verbal assault so vicious that the entire table falls silent. A partner gently suggests they might be wrong about something small, and they punish that partner with days of silent treatment or character assassination. Observers often stand baffled by these reactions. The triggering incident seems so minor, but for the narcissist, nothing feels minor when their entire psychological structure faces threat. The rage serves a function: to restore their grandiose self by annihilating whatever exposed its fragility. Relationships with narcissists follow predictable patterns that many people only recognize in hindsight. The beginning often feels intoxicating. The narcissist identifies someone as special, perfect, uniquely capable of understanding them. This serves their needs perfectly. Association with an exceptional person reinforces their own specialness. During this idealization phase, the target experiences what feels like unprecedented attention and connection. The narcissist seems deeply fascinated by them, remarkably attentive, extraordinarily generous with time and affection. They might shower them with compliments, make grand romantic gestures, or claim they've never met anyone who truly understood them until now. Many people describe this phase as feeling seen and valued in ways they never experienced before. But this idealization cannot last, because eventually, the other person reveals their humanity. They disagree about something. They have needs that conflict with the narcissist's. They succeed at something independently. They fail to provide constant admiration. These perfectly ordinary human behaviors trigger the shift into devaluation. The person once placed on a pedestal now appears deeply flawed. The narcissist becomes critical, dismissive, emotionally withdrawn. The same qualities they once praised become sources of contempt. They loved how independent you were, until your independence meant making plans without them. They admired your passion, until that passion directed itself towards something other than them. They praised your sensitivity, until your sensitivity meant having feelings they found inconvenient. The person being devalued typically feels utterly confused. They replay interactions, trying to identify what changed or what they did wrong. They often blame themselves and work harder to restore the previous warmth. But the problem doesn't lie in their behavior. The problem lies in the narcissist's inability to maintain a stable perception of anyone who demonstrates ordinary human complexity. Control permeates every relationship with a narcissist because they need others to play specific roles in maintaining their self-image. They cannot tolerate genuine autonomy in people close to them. One of the most insidious control tactics involves gaslighting, manipulating someone's perception of reality itself. The narcissist denies conversations that happened. They reframe their cruel behavior as your misunderstanding or oversensitivity. They insist your memory is false. Over months or years, this pattern severely undermines the other person's confidence in their own perceptions. You remember them promising to attend your important event, then canceling at the last minute. They insist they never promised anything and you're being unreasonable. You remember them insulting you in front of others. They claim you're too sensitive and it was just a joke. Eventually, you start doubting your own memory and judgment about everything. Triangulation represents another control mechanism that keeps people off balance. The narcissist deliberately involves third parties in relationships and conflicts, creating competitive dynamics. They compare their current partner to previous relationships in ways designed to provoke jealousy and insecurity. They set colleagues against each other by sharing different information with each person. They invoke authorities or other people's opinions to validate their position and invalidate yours. This strategy serves multiple purposes. Multiple people competing for the narcissist's approval means multiple sources of validation remain available. People kept off balance and competitive don't form stable alliances that might challenge the narcissist's dominance. The narcissist maintains their central position while others circle around them, each trying to prove their worth. The steady stream of admiration, attention, and validation that narcissists require functions like psychological fuel. Without it, their grandiose self begins to collapse. They experience what can only be described as a kind of psychological starvation. During these periods, the narcissist appears depressed, empty, irritable, or desperate. They urgently seek new sources of supply. Maybe they suddenly reach out to ex-partners they haven't contacted in years. Maybe they make dramatic life changes to generate attention and sympathy. Maybe they create crises or conflicts to pull focus back onto themselves. Maybe they seek out new admirers to replace those who stop providing adequate validation. The desperate quality of this search reveals the dependency underneath all that projected self-sufficiency. How does someone develop this kind of personality? The answer involves both innate temperament and childhood experiences, likely in combination. Some children appear more predisposed toward narcissistic traits, but environment shapes how these tendencies develop. One pathway involves excessive, unrealistic praise during childhood. A child gets praised constantly for qualities or achievements beyond their actual capabilities. They internalize a grandiose self-image disconnected from reality. They never learn to handle criticism or develop genuine skills because everyone keeps telling them they're already perfect. The opposite pathway can lead to the same destination. A child experiences emotional neglect or grows up with parents who cannot see or value their authentic self. To cope with this void, the child constructs a compensatory, grandiose self. If nobody will value the real me, I'll create a false me that commands attention and admiration. Trauma also plays a role in some cases. When a child's authentic self-expression meets with rejection, ridicule, or punishment, they learn to hide who they really are. They develop an alternate persona that earns approval, or at least keeps them safe. Over time, this protective adaptation hardens into a rigid personality structure. The grandiose self becomes the only version of self the person can safely present or even consciously access. The real self gets buried so deeply that they lose touch with it entirely. Everyone displays some narcissistic qualities at times. We all want recognition. We all feel hurt by criticism. We all sometimes prioritize our own needs. Having narcissistic traits differs fundamentally from having narcissistic personality disorder. The disorder represents a pervasive pattern where these tendencies dominate every aspect of psychological functioning across all contexts and relationships. The person's entire personality organizes around maintaining that grandiose self. This pattern causes significant damage in their relationships, their work, and their overall ability to function in the world. They cannot turn it off, cannot set it aside, cannot choose to behave differently, even when their narcissism clearly causes problems. Treatment of narcissistic personality disorder faces enormous challenges. The very nature of the condition makes therapy nearly impossible. Think about what therapy requires: acknowledging problems, accepting that you need help, taking guidance from someone else, exploring painful emotions, tolerating vulnerability. Every single one of these requirements directly threatens the narcissistic defense system. Many narcissists only enter therapy during crises. Their marriage collapses, they lose a job, they face legal consequences, they experience a period of severe depletion. Once the immediate crisis passes, they typically leave. The idea of continuing to work on themselves when they're no longer in acute distress makes no sense within their worldview. They came to fix a problem. The problem appears fixed, so why would they stay? When treatment does occur with someone genuinely committed, progress happens slowly and involves helping the person gradually tolerate a more realistic self-concept. This means learning to sit with feelings of imperfection, developing genuine empathy, reducing defensive reactions, and tolerating ordinary human limitation. Even small shifts represent significant achievements, given how entrenched these patterns become. The impact of narcissistic personality extends far beyond individual suffering. Narcissists in positions of power, whether running families, leading organizations, or holding political office, create environments characterized by toxicity and psychological harm. Their need for dominance and inability to tolerate criticism means honest communication becomes impossible. People learn to tell them only what they want to hear. Innovation dies because nobody dares suggest the narcissistic leader might be wrong. Their lack of genuine empathy permits exploitation without guilt. Their projection of blame creates scapegoats who get punished for problems the narcissist caused. Understanding these dynamics becomes essential for recognizing and addressing dysfunction in families, workplaces, and institutions. For those dealing with narcissistic individuals in their lives, understanding these psychological mechanisms provides clarity but rarely provides easy solutions. The fundamental nature of narcissistic personality makes authentic change extremely difficult. People in relationships with narcissists often fall into a particular trap. They believe if they just provide enough admiration, show enough understanding, or love adequately enough, they can somehow heal the narcissist's inner wounds. They think the problem lies in what they're giving not being quite right yet. This hope almost always proves futile. The problem doesn't lie in the quality of what others provide. The problem lies in the narcissist's inability to internalize and sustain any genuine connection or sense of self-worth. You could become the perfect partner, the ideal friend, the most understanding family member. The narcissist would still require more, would still feel empty, would still cycle through idealization and devaluation. Because no amount of external validation can fill an internal void this profound. Recognizing narcissistic patterns requires looking past surface presentations to underlying dynamics. The charming, confident exterior may mask exploitative patterns beneath. The expressions of love and commitment may function primarily as control mechanisms. The apparent strength and certainty may reflect defensive rigidity rather than genuine confidence. Developing this deeper understanding protects against manipulation and allows for more informed choices about relationships and boundaries. The narcissist's greatest weapon lies in making their targets doubt their own perceptions and blame themselves for the dysfunction. Knowledge strips away that weapon. Studying narcissism ultimately reveals fundamental truths about all of us. We all need validation. We all construct narratives about ourselves. We all defend against threats to our self-concept. Narcissistic personality represents these universal human tendencies taken to extreme, pathological proportions. Understanding this condition deepens our comprehension of how early experiences shape who we become, how defensive patterns develop, and the intricate ways personality forms. But more than academic interest, understanding narcissism matters because these individuals exist in all our lives, as partners, parents, bosses, friends, public figures. The narcissist remains trapped in a prison of their own grandiosity. They spend their entire lives seeking external confirmation of an internal image that can never be adequately validated because its foundation rests not on genuine self-knowledge, but on psychological necessity. They desperately seek connection while remaining fundamentally unable to achieve it. They demand love while lacking the capacity to truly receive or reciprocate it. They present supreme confidence while experiencing profound inner instability. The tragedy of narcissism lies in this perpetual cycle. The very defenses that protect the narcissist from confronting their fragility also ensure they can never escape it. They remain forever hungry for something no amount of admiration can provide. And everyone drawn into their orbit pays the price for a wound that predated their arrival and will persist long after their departure.